İyi günler. Aramızda, is there anyone speaking not Turkish? So because of translation? Okay, two. We have to respect that. So we have then prepared our session into two languages, which is Turkish and English. So let me start to introduce our very welcomed and important colleagues from Germany. In the beginning, Anke Budde, she is the president of Independent Travel Traders of Germany. President Alliance Independent Travel Traders in Germany, Anke Budde. Then we have Michael Blum. He's very well-known communicator in Europe. He's been working for Turi, for the biggest travel tour operator for a long time, and he also published or worked for well-known newspapers and magazines in Spain. And at the moment, he's also doing communication works for the travel agencies of the TUI group, TUI Travel Star. We have a very charming lady from Germany, Julia Kleber. She is very much skilled, focused on luxury travel in Germany or in German-speaking countries. Anlaşılıyor herhalde, kulaklık gerek yok, tamam. And Hanna Kleber, she is the owner of Kleber Group, and she is the president of Touristique. This is an organization of all tourism associations of countries in Germany. Let me start with Anke, please, because she has a very early flight back to Berlin. Tomorrow there in Berlin is the annual meeting of German travel agencies, so she has to be there. She has a speech prepared in German, so I will try to, a summary of it, I'll try to introduce into Turkish. Whoever wants to have the full script, he can get it from me, please.
Okay. Thank you so much,
You
Hüseyin.
speak in German, later, if whoever he wants, we will give it.
Okay, thank you. Liebe Kolleginnen, liebe Kollegen, sehr geehrte Damen und Herren, als Präsidentin des ASR, der Allianz Selbstständiger Reiseunternehmen in Deutschland, freue ich mich, Ihnen heute hier in Istanbul auf dieser großartigen Tourismusmesse einen Einblick in das touristische Jahr 2024 zu geben und einen Ausblick ins Jahr 2025 zu wagen, mit besonderem Fokus auf die Bedeutung des internationalen Tourismus und unser beliebtes Reiseland Türkei. In einer Zeit, in der die Welt von Unsicherheiten und Konflikten geprägt ist, steht der internationale Tourismus als Leuchtfeuer der Hoffnung. Er überbrückt kulturelle und nationale Grenzen und fördert das Verständnis und die Wertschätzung für Vielfalt. Deutsche Reisende, die in ferne Länder aufbrechen, und internationale Gäste, die Deutschland besuchen, tragen gleichermaßen zu einer Kultur der Offenheit und des Austauschs bei. Der Tourismus ermutigt uns, über den eigenen Tellerrand hinauszuschauen und die Welt mit offenen Augen zu erleben. Er erinnert uns daran, dass wir trotz aller Unterschiede Teil einer globalen Gemeinschaft sind. In dieser Rolle haben wir die Chance, durch unsere Reiseentscheidungen und das Willkommenheißen von Gästen aus aller Welt aktiv zu einer Kultur der Toleranz, des Friedens und der Diversität beizutragen. Das buchungsstarke Jahr 2024, das wir erlebt haben, stimmt uns positiv und lässt auf ein erfolgreiches Jahr 2025 hoffen. Die Zufriedenheit unter unseren Mitgliedsunternehmen ist groß. Ein Zeichen dafür, dass unsere Branche auf einem soliden Fundament steht. 73% der Menschen planen fest, im nächsten Jahr zu verreisen. Ein Großteil davon hat bereits konkrete Ziele vor Augen. Eine aktuelle Umfrage unterstreicht die hohe Bedeutung des Reisens für unsere Gesellschaft. Urlaub ist die zweitwichtigste Ausgabe für die Deutschen nach Lebensmitteln. Die anhaltende Beliebtheit der Türkei bei unseren deutschen Reisenden erfüllt uns mit Freude. Bei vielen Reiseveranstaltern hat sich die Türkei als sehr gebuchtes Reiseziel etabliert. Auch neue Unternehmen wie Flytour, die sich bereits sehr erfolgreich in Deutschland etabliert haben, tragen zum Erfolg der Türkei als Reiseziel bei. In den ersten 7 Monaten des Jahres 2024 konnte die Türkei bereits fast 30 Millionen Besucher begrüßen. Die Türkei überzeugt durch ihre unglaubliche Vielfalt.
Vielleicht ganz kurze Übersetzung. Full teksti verebiliriz. Özetle şunu söylüyor. Geçen yıl, yani bu yılı kastediyor. Türkiye satışları çok iyiydi. Wie viel Millionen haben
Fast
bereits?
30.
30 Millionen. Wohin?
Fast 30 Millionen waren bis Juli hier in der Türkei.
So hoch?
Diese Zahlen habe ich so gemeldet bekommen, ja. Wo hatte ich es? Hier. Konnte die Türkei fast 30 Millionen Besucher begrüßen.
Also gesamte Besucherzahl.
Ja.
Yani Türkiye'nin genelde çok istenildiğini ve satıldığını söylüyor ve hatta Alman pazarında Türkiye'nin satışlarda 1. sıraya oturduğunu söylüyor. Bitte.
Okay. Von traumhaften Stränden über historische Stätten bis hin zu einer faszinierenden Kultur und exzellenter Gastronomie, das Land bietet für jeden Geschmack etwas. Die türkische Riviera lockt mit ihren kristallklaren Gewässern und luxuriösen Resorts, während Städte wie Istanbul mit ihrer reichen Geschichte und dem pulsierenden Stadtleben begeistern. Die kappadokischen Felsformationen bieten ein einzigartiges Naturerlebnis und die türkische Küche verwöhnt mit ihrer Vielfalt an Aromen und Gerichten. Ob Strandurlaub, Kultururlaub, Aktivurlaub, die Türkei hat für jeden Reisetyp das passende Angebot.
Türkiye tüm seyahat trendlerine cevap veren bir ülke oldu. Bütün trendleri tam ortasında hep Türkiye'yi görüyoruz. Özellikle tarihle gurme, gastronominin buluşması Türkiye'ye çok ayrı bir tat vermeye başladı bizim pazarlarımızda, satışlarda.
Die besondere Beziehung zwischen Deutschland und der Türkei geht weit über den Tourismus hinaus. In Deutschland leben wir buchstäblich Tür an Tür mit unseren türkischen Mitbürgern. Diese enge Verbindung, die durch jahrzehntelange Migration und kulturellen Austausch entstanden ist, spiegelt sich auch in der Reiselust der Deutschen wider. Viele Deutsche haben türkische Freunde oder Kollegen und sind dadurch neugierig auf das Land geworden. Diese tiefe Verbundenheit schafft eine einzigartige Basis für den Tourismus und fördert das gegenseitige Verständnis zwischen unseren Kulturen.
Almanya'nın Türkiye ile ilgili çok ayrı bir konumu var, bir turist gönderen ülke olarak. Bildiğiniz üzere Almanya'da çok Türk yaşıyor. Dolayısıyla her Almanın neredeyse bir Türk komşusu var. Bu tabii kültürel faaliyetleri çok arttırıyor ve buraya o faaliyetlere katılan Almanların da turist olarak dönüşünü hızlandırıyor.
Trotz der positiven Entwicklungen standen wir in diesem Jahr auch vor Herausforderungen. Die Insolvenz von FTI im Juni 2024 hatte erhebliche Auswirkungen auf den türkischen Tourismusmarkt. FTI war einer der Hauptakteure, die Touristen aus Europa in die Türkei brachten, und die Pleite betraf schätzungsweise fast 2 Millionen Touristinnen und Touristen. Besonders die türkische Riviera war von dieser Entwicklung betroffen. In der Provinz Antalya waren Rechnungen in Höhe von rund 150 Millionen Euro offen. Die Situation führte zu kurzfristigen Anpassungen im Markt. Doch ich bin stolz darauf, wie unsere Branche auf diese Herausforderung reagiert hat.
Bu yıl bildiğiniz üzere çok büyük bir iflas da yaşadı Almanya. Almanya'nın en büyük tur operatörlerinden FTI'nin, ki bu tur operatörü Türkiye'ye çok yoğun turist gönderen bir şirketti. Onun iflası tabii piyasaları etkiledi.
Dank des Deutschen Reisesicherungsfonds und der schnellen und unkomplizierten Reiseangebote anderer auf die Türkei spezialisierten Reiseveranstalter konnten viele Urlauber doch noch ihren Sommerurlaub genießen. Reiseveranstalter wie Annex Tour, Corel Touristique, Ben Tour, aber auch die Marktführer Turi und der Tour stellen zusätzliche Angebote und Kapazitäten bereit und übernahmen FTI-Kontingente. Dies bot eine gewisse Abfederung für den türkischen Markt und zeigt die Stärke und Flexibilität unserer Branche.
Ancak Türk kökenli Avrupa'daki, Almanya'daki tur operatörleri Annex, Touristique ve Ben Tour bu iflasdan dolayı yolda kalan veyahut seyahat edemeyen kişilere son derece yardım ederek onların seyahat etmesini sağladı. Tabii Alman tur operatörleri de buna iştirak etti.
Für das kommende Jahr 2025 sind wir äußerst optimistisch. Die anhaltende Beliebtheit der Türkei, gepaart mit den Bemühungen, das Land als ganzjähriges Reiseziel zu etablieren, lässt uns eine weitere positive Entwicklung erwarten. Besonders spannend finde ich die Bestrebungen, das Angebot an Kultur- und Studienreisen sowie kulinarischen Reisen auszubauen. Die Türkei hat eine sehr gute Chance, noch bestehende Marktlücken zu schließen, wenn sie beispielsweise zusätzliche Angebote für Arbeiten im Ausland, Langzeiturlaube und Best Ager anbietet. Die Gastfreundlichkeit und der gute Service, der unseren Gästen zugutekommt, bietet dafür schon die perfekte Grundlage. Mit unserer Expertise als Verband und natürlich als Branchenteilnehmer unterstützen wir gerne dabei, diese Angebote einzigartig und zielgruppengerecht zu gestalten und am deutschen Markt zu etablieren.
Türkiye'nin özellikle bu deniz, kum, güneşten sonra gastronomi, sanat ve özellikle Best Ager konusunda yaptığı çalışmalar Avrupa'daki, Almanya'daki Türkiye'nin payını, piyasalardaki piyasa payını çok büyütecektir. Buna Türkiye hazır olsun. Doğru yolda Türkiye bu anlamda.
Lassen Sie mich zum Abschluss die tiefere Bedeutung unserer Arbeit hervorheben. Tourismus steht für Frieden, Freiheit, Völkerverständigung und Weltoffenheit. Er ist mehr als nur eine Wirtschaftsbranche. Er ist eine Kraft, die Menschen zusammenbringt, Vorurteile abbaut und gegenseitiges Verständnis fördert. Dort, wo Menschen miteinander in Dialog treten, wo sie die Kultur und Lebensweise anderer kennenlernen und schätzen, dort entstehen keine Konflikte. Der wirtschaftliche Wohlstand, den der Tourismus in vielen Regionen schafft, trägt zusätzlich zur Stabilität und zum friedlichen Zusammenleben bei. Indem wir Reisen ermöglichen und fördern, leisten wir einen wichtigen Beitrag zu einer offeneren, toleranteren und friedlicheren Welt. Jeder Tourist, jeder Geschäftsreisende wird zu einem Botschafter der Völkerverständigung. In diesem Sinne ist unsere Arbeit nicht nur wirtschaftlich bedeutsam, sondern auch gesellschaftlich und politisch wertvoll. Lassen Sie uns diese Tourismusmesse als Chance sehen, die Weichen für eine erfolgreiche Zukunft zu stellen. Wir stehen vor großen Herausforderungen, aber auch vor noch größeren Möglichkeiten. Der internationale Tourismus, insbesondere die deutsch-türkische Zusammenarbeit, bietet uns die Gelegenheit, Brücken zu bauen und aktiv zu einer friedlicheren, verständnisvolleren Welt beizutragen. Vielen Dank.
Evet, konuşmasını bitirdi. Şunu söylüyor, turizm sadece bir ticari iş değil. Toplumlar arası dostluk ve barış, ki şu an çok sıkıntı var bu konuda. Tehdit edici durumlar var dünyada. Bunların olmaması bizim esasında yapmak istediğimiz işi çok daha kolaylaştırıyor ve güzelleştiriyor. Bu anlamda tabii çok kısa tercüme olarak savaşların ve ülkeler arası gerginliklerin, kavgaların bitmesi dünya turizm sektöründe önünü açacaktır. Hepinize teşekkür ediyor ve kendisi şimdi hemen havalimanına gitmesi lazım. Danke, Anke. Ihr könnt jetzt fahren. So, dann komme ich zu Julia. Şimdi nasıl yapalım? İngilizce, Türkçe mi sorayım? Nasıl yapalım? Okay, I have to ask anyway in English. As you know, the Turkish hotel investments have changed a lot. Better to speak, they modified their services from average level. They went up to high price segment, even some of them to high-end groups, hotel groups and services, as you know. Of course, they give the high-end service if it can be paid. So Turkey is in a new wave of luxury, offering luxury hotels. But on the other side, in Germany, or better to say in German-speaking countries, it's not yet that much accepted, the offers of high-end or high-priced Turkish hotels. What are the key, let's say, key solutions or key factors of getting more German-speaking clients into Turkish luxury hotels. So in English, please.
Hello? Can you hear me? Perfect.
Tercüme ediliyor şu an, kulaklığınız varsa.
Okay, first of all, I want to show you a little video about different markets we're working in. So please just show the video for now. Do we have a sound? Because the video is actually explaining a lot already. There we go.
For 3 decades, Kleber Group has been driving success in travel, luxury, and lifestyle consulting. Since 1994, we've partnered with the most beautiful hotels, adventurous destinations, renowned airlines, and creative lifestyle brands, blending expertise with innovation. With offices in Frankfurt, Munich, Zurich, and Madrid, and a global agencies network covering all 5 continents, Kleber Group combines global reach with local expertise. Led by Hanna Kleber, our founder and president, and CEO Julia Kleber, we harness over 30 years of industry knowledge, long-standing partnerships, and forward-thinking strategies to meet the evolving needs of the tourism industry. As a PR, communication, and marketing agency, we provide a 360-degree approach, connecting paid, earned, shared, and owned media to deliver integrated customer experiences across all touchpoints. Our services include destination representation, trade marketing, PR, social media, influencer, and digital marketing, MICE, sales, advertising, and more, creating data-driven strategies that engage businesses and consumers alike. Our focus spans 3 core segments: emerging markets, mature destinations, and the luxury sector. For emerging clients, we build awareness and advise on strategic product development and investment. For mature destinations, we manage seasonality, diversify offerings, and elevate experiences. In the luxury market, we create tailored strategies that cater to the sophisticated demands of high-end travelers. To create synergies and leverage our expertise, we have developed specialized divisions that integrate key pillars into our group. As founding members of the Travel Lifestyle Network, we operate in over 40 markets with more than 350 professionals, ensuring global reach. Our commitment to inclusivity is reflected in Journeyable, which connects travelers with disabilities to destinations worldwide. Connative brings AI-driven solutions to the tourism industry, and Red Carpet Club elevates destinations into premier luxury travel locales. Through Acua and Suind, we provide solutions for sustainable water management and agriculture in tourism, addressing today's most pressing challenges. Voice for Africa works with local stakeholders to promote sustainable tourism and development in African destinations. Rethinking Africa unites investors and industry leaders to drive long-term investments, creating jobs and fostering sustainable growth. Kleber Group delivering innovative solutions for emerging, mature, and luxury markets, where every interaction becomes an opportunity to impress and convert. Everything, everywhere.
So just to give you a little introduction of the different markets we're working in, but especially now we are focusing very much on the luxury segment and the high-end traveler. As many of our clients, destinations and hotel groups, they request to find out better how to approach this high-end traveler, who is a specific group of people, of course, who can afford to go to destinations, but it may be very lucrative for hotels to look more into this kind of a target group, because of course they can spend more, they stay longer, and in the end it is also about sustainability, because if we don't look into the over-tourism and the mass tourism, but going more specifically into the high-end traveler, nowadays there's a huge demand, and as we can see it as an agency, destinations, entire destinations, like would be, for example, Turkey. How can I become more seen as a luxury destination in the international market? The same as a hotel group. How can I get to the consumers who would see my brand as the high-end travel brand? And luxury has changed quite a bit because it's no longer only looking about the decoration of gold or having the right name to it, but it becomes really the experience we have while traveling. It becomes about the service. It is the personalization of the service that a hotel has to offer. It is about the security of traveling to a destination. How can I move around? It's the wellness. It's the well-being of the person. How can I feel being good in a hotel or in a destination? So everything about the luxury travel market is nowadays about the experience, and it's also very much connected to lifestyle, which goes very much along together. So when we look into the luxury and lifestyle sector, a lot of communication needs to be done because we need to find the correct stories to be told, that it is not just a building of a hotel, but the life in it, as said, the experience you have with it, and that you go home, that you travel with it. So talking overall, how can I get more of this luxury image? We work very much with the analyzation of what is the brand represented as, what is the image of the current hotel, how is it seen, and how can we improve it by looking into statistics, also how to approach those hotels, and how can we better get the message out there. Of course, the product needs to be right, but there are many, many hotels also working around here. You see every second hotel is called luxury, but is that really the luxury of the experience they're having, or is it just the nutshell we're talking about? So I think it goes much deeper nowadays to understand the real experience and what the high-end traveler wants. And as I said also before, the ecotourism, which is very strong here also with the products in Turkey, the beautiful beaches, the nature, the local food we can find here, all of those experience, of course, in a certain level. But this is what also the luxury experience is, that you can really connect in a positive way. And the same, all the different factors play in it. Nowadays, AI is also important to understand how is it digital for me, how easy is it to get there, and the connectivity, everything needs to be integrated. Do I have a good VIP service and cars to get to the hotel? Would the hotel know what I expect, what I want? Do I better like rosé champagne or normal champagne? So having all the information, which comes also to the customer experience and the loyalty and knowing about the CRM of people, everything needs to be integrated into the customer experience, starting from the inspiration until, in the end, the loyalty and the recommendations. So we work on all those levels.
But Julia, the product is there. The connectivity is there. As you know, our country is possessing one of the leading airlines in the world. There is no other country with that frequent connectivity as Turkey is at the moment. The hotels are, many of them are perfect. But what do the hotel owners or managers have to do to change the mind of the people in German-speaking countries? Because we have on the Turkish side no lack of connectivity, no lack of services, no lack of location, no lack of offering culture, no lack of events, no lack of history highlights. Everything is there, but people still believe it's not there. How do we change this? This is my main question.
Correct. Well, for me, this all comes together in the communication, because if people don't know, they cannot have their idea about it. And Turkey has also been a lot kind of all-inclusive destination for many years, which is good on the one side, of course, but also the communication needs to go into we are a luxury destination, we have the product, so we need to communicate much more in doing advertorials, not only advertising or putting out pictures where it all looks beautiful, but we need to feed the German-speaking market with information about the products we have here in Turkey so that they would get inspired, reading about it on social media, on all the different channels we have in communication. And then, of course, also train the travel agencies. So if they would go to a travel agency, the travel agency would know about the products as well and which to recommend to the type of client we would have.
Thank you so much. Last year, dear colleagues, we had in global tourism economy 5, 6, 7 topics. One was, still is, since years, sustainability. This is not our topic today here. The second was over tourism. The year 2024 is the year of global over tourism. At least it was never before that much discussed as this year. This I'm going to ask you, Michael, in a minute. Wait. The other question was luxury. We have globally a luxury movement from Indonesia to Nicaragua, from Panama to Hong Kong. Luxury, luxury, luxury, luxury, luxury. This was another topic. And one of the other topics was the global situation we as sector fall in. We have all around the world problems now, also very close to Turkey, to Istanbul. We have a still ongoing war in the Ukraine, and then in Gaza, in Israel. No one knows what the coming years will bring us, bring to the sector. So we have to handle one thing we know at least. We have some, maybe we can handle a bit. Others we cannot handle as sector. Michael leaded also Mallorca magazine, which is the leading newspaper and magazine in Spanish-speaking countries. So he knows places in the world which are now very much affected by over-tourism. So I want to ask you, Michael, what is over-tourism? Why that much trouble in Spain? What's behind? What's the reality?
Well, this is a big question. I get up so you can see me a bit better, and I think my voice travels a bit better if I'm upright. Let me start by asking you, have you ever thought that there were too many tourists? Who has ever thought, ever in his life, too many tourists? 1, 2? Okay, you are happy if there are many tourists. But have you ever thought that there were too many tourists? No. Okay. After all, we are all working in the tourism business, so more seems to be better. Okay? Now, what happens if you listen carefully to all the stakeholders? And by all stakeholders, I mean people living in the places where the tourists go. They might not agree with you and me that more is always better. More might be better up to a certain point. So how do we find out when we get to that point? Better not too late when you can't fix it anymore. So it's basically obvious. You have to listen carefully to all your stakeholders. Listen to the people. Listen to your employees. Listen to everybody involved. If you build a new hotel, think about people living in the area already. If you build a new venue in Istanbul, think about the people living in the vicinity, what they might think. How does it affect travel? Local travel, bus, subway, and so forth. How does it affect prices? On Mallorca, I used to live on Mallorca for 15 years, and in Spain it was always very important to buy your own property to live in. If you cannot buy your own property, you have a problem in old age because that is a very important part of your retirement package. Now, prices have gone up in Madrid, in Barcelona, on Mallorca, that people with a normal income cannot afford to buy an apartment. For them, that's really, really bad. And now, if you have more tourism
Can
on
they
Mallorca,
buy food? Can they afford food, regular food?
yes, up to a limit, but many cannot even afford food. There is a food bank on Mallorca. They have to dole out more and more food because there are people living in the street. They are not thousands, but dozens or even hundreds. We are talking Mallorca, one of the most prosperous areas in the European Union, and there are people living in shacks, houses made out of cardboard and tin. No toilets, no water, no heating. Okay? Mallorca, not Africa or South America, where we are kind of used that this happens. No, no, no. Spain and a rich area. And people with a job that is paying okay, they work 40 hours a week, they struggle to make ends meet. It's not enough to send both kids, if they have 2 kids, to school and buy an apartment. And they're thinking, what's in it for me? More tourists, more hotels, more, and I cannot afford to buy an apartment. When I retire, I will be poor because I will not be able to afford renting an apartment. So that's the big problem. And more is not the solution. You have to readjust. How do you readjust? That depends. The solution for maybe, let's say in Istanbul, in a certain place, there's too much. Okay? And you kind of agree, this is too much and we have to fix it. Then the solution for Istanbul is probably closer to a possible solution in New York City, because they are both big cities with similar attractions, similar and in a basic way. Whereas Mallorca, as a small destination, an island, has very different solutions, possibly. How do you get the solution? Listen to the people. Talk to the people and listen to the people. And very important, be serious about it. This is a call to the politicians to do it seriously, but it's also for all the stakeholders. If you own a company, listen to the people. Don't think I'm doing business, they have a job because of me. It might be true, but still it might not be enough. Listen to the people, try that everybody's interests are served. It's difficult, it takes time, it takes effort, it costs money, yes, but in the end, I think it's worth the while. I spent a week in Acapulco, Mexico, in the 90s. Acapulco, you all look at me like, I think, what is Acapulco? Acapulco was the tourism hotspot in the world in the 50s, 60s, into the 70s. Luxury tourism at its best, Acapulco. Everybody went to Acapulco. When I got there, the hotels were very cheap. I spent a night at a huge suite as a student for $100 US. It was dirt cheap because nobody went there anymore.
You were a rich student, huh?
I was a poor student and I could afford a huge suite in Acapulco because nobody went there anymore. And today hardly anybody knows Acapulco as a tourism hotspot anymore. It's not on the map anymore.
It's dead.
It's
almost
dead. So for Acapulco, too much was too much. It died. So the tourists went elsewhere. You don't want that to happen in Turkey.
But
so
do you see, sorry Michael to interrupt you, do you see from the perspective of Spain any danger in Turkey?
Yes, of course there's danger. If you look at preservation of nature, many tourists like a nice hotel, but if there's only hotels, then they kind of start thinking it's too much. If beaches are saturated with people, then they go elsewhere. There are beaches elsewhere. So it's very important to find the balance between what is good, how much growth is good, and when to stop.
Thank you, Michael. So, Hanna Kleber, the lady on the left, is well known for communication, sales, marketing since a long time in Germany. She also represented many countries in German-speaking countries for a long time. Tomorrow she will be in South Africa and going back to Nizza, from Nice to Germany, so she is always around the world in order to, at least from the German-speaking countries, to send the tourists to those countries and to fill the hotels, because as we mentioned here, the number of hotels is incredibly quickly rising worldwide. Everywhere, every day, every minute almost, we have a new hotel opening on 5 continents. Now, Saudi Arabia will also be on the run. We will see what happens there. But we will have a quite big number in the world of hotels. But to focus us on Turkey, what will bring us the coming year on the Turkish market? How is Turkey positioned in German-speaking countries? Will it be a good year, a medium year, or a bad year for Turkey in German-speaking countries?
Yeah, thank you. I think the chances for Turkey are very good. I think you made a nice quick gap, which you had the last years. Building, of course, a lot of those, what you call luxury hotels. And as Julia mentioned, it's not only the building, but it's the service, etc. There's always the fight, who is the biggest one. I was just looking into some sort of service, what's happening for 2025, for next year. So the Germans, I mean, even if we have a bit of a political crisis in the country, but as Anke mentioned, I mean, travel for us is the most important thing, to get out, I mean, the weather is probably not the best, We had a nice summer, but if you see your summer here, of course, people want to go mainly for sun and sea. It's still the main focus for the people, the motivation to travel. Because, I mean, we have a very stressful life, but we spend holiday to relax and to get out and to see different people. In the meantime, you also see there is a more interaction with cultures, to understand people and really go out. We also, from the Touristique, we have created an award, which is called Touristique Award Connecting Cultures. So we see it's very important to interact with the people and to understand the people you are going to, not only to use their hotels and go to their beaches and then stay blocked away from the all-inclusive, which I think has a right to be for especially families. And you see the families still focusing very much on of course, the school holidays, so it's a bit of more expensive, and you have some sort of, you have probably not the budget as the main of the luxury travelers, but the people still want to travel. So it's always this fight. What I saw, of course, when I read the statistics, like Spain will have some sort of 90 million travelers this year, which I think is a massive number, which could also lead to over-tourism if it's not organized properly. For Turkey, and the next ones is, of course, Italy. You have Croatia, all this kind of European, closer travel. A lot of the Germans, they're also still going by car. So whatever.
But many tour operators already stated for 25, Turkey will our leading destination.
That's what I heard as well.
Yeah.
So far I've heard like 53 million going to Turkey. So it's October, see what comes to the end. We'll see what the final number will be. But of course, Turkey became a very popular destination. And I would like to focus, saying, but we also see the Germans love to go on a long-haul trip, not even saying now Dubai, all the kind of Arab world, they're increasing as well. But you see also a lot of long-haul travel, which is more than 6 hours. And I work a lot in the African destination, so we have a huge increase for Africa, which has never been before. So experiencing different things which you don't have at home. So that's something which goes. But this also is more or less, more the up market, because, of course, to go to Tanzania, you can easily spend 10,000 euros, so it's not for everybody. And they control it through the price. You know, it's the line, because the line is the same, you know, it's just the way how you stay and what you prepare to spend. But Tanzania controls it through the price. Kenya is the less expensive one, so they have more families, they have more group tourism. So I think it's very important, and when I saw James talking about Cape Town, of course, this is, yes, Cape Town is a bit Africa, but it's some sort of for the first comers, and then they go to the real Africa because you can have both. But you see, people going there, it really has increased, and we see the long-haul travel has also increased up to 19%. But for Turkey, coming back, I see a good chance if you start a proper communication. Because Turkey, in the past years, it was always some sort of, for those people who have not the big budgets, they would go to the all-inclusives, go to, you know, in special hotel groups. And now what I think is important, to diversify, to understand that like every country, you have the 3-star hotels and you have the 5-star and you have the very luxury ones. But to me, it's important what happens around your hotel. It's not only to stay in the hotel and have a buffet in the evening. You want to go out, you want to connect with the people. And then it comes to the culture when I say you want to go out into the restaurants in the evening, in the street, you know, not only in the hotel. So we must build an infrastructure around those kind of 5-star, 4-star, 3-star hotels, so people can experience the country. Because sometimes people come home, they don't even know where they have been. So for me, it's very important, get them out, get them connect with the people and really to understand you as people, you know. And as Anke said, it's the people's business, the tourism, and we can help to create peace and understanding for each other.
I would like to add one thought to that. People getting out is, of course, what I love to do when I travel, what we all love to do when we travel, and I completely agree with you. At the same time, the more people get out of the hotel, the more they interact with the local population, the more likely it gets that these locals feel overwhelmed, that they think it's too much. Palma is a good example, the capital city of Mallorca. When I lived there, starting in the late 90s, hardly any tourists visited Palma. There were very few hotels in the city of Palma. And then they thought, well, we need to get tourists in the wintertime also, and in fall and spring. What can we do? Palma is a very attractive city with lots of things to visit and to do. So they started to open hotels in historic buildings and so forth. Now, Palma is a very successful destination in it by itself. Many tourists go to Palma. And this is part of the reason why apartments are so expensive in the city of Palma. So be careful what you wish for, because it might come true. So this is, again, a question of balancing, of finding the right balance. Yes, it is a question of managing it right, listen, analyze,
but Michael, I think
draw your conclusions, and then communicate and do the right things.
Yeah. But I think we're talking about the positioning of a country, you know? I mean, as I mentioned in the beginning, Turkey was not really considered as a luxury destination. So that's something which you can start working on. You have areas like a Bodrum, of course, in Istanbul, who has so many, but you have to start working on the positioning of the country itself with the different products on and the diversification. I think this is very important.
Then let me ask another very special question to Julia. Many Turkish people, hotel owners or friends, colleagues of mine, they are very, at the moment at least, still very keen on social media. They believe social media brings big results, which I'm personally not sure whether I can share this or not. Is social media in luxury segment something important for hotels? Is it working?
To answer your question, social media, we cannot take it away. It is a channel that needs to be feeded, But it's not
Is
enough.
it a channel for luxury products?
It's not enough, definitely not, because also the number of really booking after seeing something on social media, it's not there. You need to provide much more information and have a long-term communication, working a lot with media still, because also we still have all the beautiful magazines where it's actually featured, and we don't only shout out pictures. Of course that helps, the same as we talked before, advertising, of course it helps, because you get an idea about something, how it looks like. But we need to create the stories, and as we mentioned before, the personalization. How can you talk about this enough on social media? So we need to really go back into print, online media. We need to look also into celebrities.
But can you, yeah, everyone is speaking about story. Of course, everyone knows a bit of it. But for a hotel, let's say in Belek, what story can you bring that the customers find it incredibly inviting or fantastic? What can it be?
I think
What story?
It's the little personal experiences they have in it. If they had, for example, the interaction with the people in the hotel, the staff, they were treated exceptionally well. If they made them smile, if the service was correct, for example, or if they had a massage on the beach that they didn't expect. So it's everything about surprising your customer, also knowing your customer better. So,
Michael, you will add on something? On
Can I maybe say something?
Yes, I would like to add that for Turkey, that sales channel of travel agents in German-speaking countries is still by far the most important. By all means, do social media, do classic press coverage. Think about where your clients come from. The most, 90% come through travel agents. Talk to your travel agents, inform your travel agents. They function the same way a normal person functions, but they are a much smaller group, so it's much easier to focus on them, and they are a very important factor for your success in sales. Talk to your travel agents, don't forget them. How do you do that? It's personal relationships. Use your personality, use help in personal relationships. This is how you can be successful in selling Turkey and selling your special product, be it luxury or something boutique in Istanbul, or even if it's a three-star all-inclusive resort as it used to be.
Okay, thank you. So we come to the end. Anna, you have the final words, and then I close.
Yes, just for Belek, because I've been there many times. So I think you have to look into your customers. Who is your target group? Because there, I mean, you have beautiful golf, you have beautiful kitchen, you have all these culinary experiences, etc. So look into your people who you want to have and try to find them through the right channels. And I think Turkey has a good chance to reposition itself at the end of the day, but it's not something overnight, so it's a joint effort of the hotel business, of the government, you know, it's the politicians who needs to understand, and of course you have a great airline coming here, so the conditions are very good for that.
Okay, thank you very much. Dear colleagues, I know it's very hard to be here at that time, but I again thank you in the name of my colleagues very much. I hope to see you next year here in Istanbul. Istanbul is a great city of almost 18 million people, of hundreds of thousands of hotel beds, biggest airports in the world, and fantastic products all around the city. Whenever you have the time, go out and discover them, because this is a very, very special city. You are in it. Welcome to Istanbul. See you next year.
Thank you so much. Esra Hanım'ı da sahneye hemen alabilirsek teşekkürlerini paylaşmak için plaketleri olacak. Please stay with us. We would like to thank you with the plaquettes. Hüseyin Bey'e de özellikle çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Anke'ye teşekkür ediyoruz. Hanna'ya teşekkür ediyoruz. Çok sağ olun. Thank you so much. Thank you, Michael Blum. Hüseyin Bey'in harika önderliğinde. Thank you so much. Enjoy your days.